everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Moss. Episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3. Thank you for sticking out with us. It's only episode 3, but we appreciate it.
I'm Sean.
And I am the M that start Moss, Manny.
Welcome. We hope everyone has had a good week.
Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches, depending on when you're listening to this.
How's your week going?
You know, we're at the end of it. So figure out what day we're recording this, peeps.
This is going to be like the inside game to listen to this podcast, is to figure out when we actually record it.
Right. But it'll be released every Sunday. I don't think we've clarified that. We're aiming for
every Sunday. If it doesn't make it, then, maybe you get it on a Monday. We'll see.
Week's going well, though. No more work for 2 days.
Oh, my God. I can't with you. Anyway.
That could be our inside joke for our pod fam,
Sure.
How's your week going?
My week is going fantastic. Got a lot of things kind of buttoned up at work that I've been working on. And it's been a pleasant week so far. So,
That's cool. I'm glad you've been able to have a good week and get stuff done.
Yeah, it's been a good one. And I'm happy to be back here, back on the pod.
Yeah,
we have
pod fam. I'm gonna start calling them pod fam
until we come up with names for y'all besides our studio audience. So we thought that we would start these pods now with a little bit kind of about us, because we kind of realized that we haven't really said a lot about ourselves.
We just jump right into the pod.
We just jump right into the deep
Dedicated.
I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do. So we're going to talk about our logo this week.
Yes.
A lot of you may have, if you've seen us on the gram, if you've seen, I guess that's probably, or the cover artwork for the episodes, wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Streaming on all
We're on all platforms now.
We're worldwide.
I guess that's something that we can announce.
It's worldwide.
We're on Google Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio.
Stitcher Radio.
We're on Stitcher.
Stricker.
So wherever you listen to podcasts, you're more than likely going to find our podcast.
The best logo ever created for a pod.
So our logo in the beginning was created for our YouTube channel, which was short-lived. Because I'm going to be honest, I edit videos. And
I do not.
He does not. They take a lot of work. They are very time-consuming. Especially for me, because I like to make sure the end product looks good. So I like to take my time on those things, and they can get a little time consuming in doing them.
I'm with you on that. Even though there's plenty of terrible YouTubes with lots of views.
No shade, there are plenty of terrible YouTube videos. But our logo, you can see we have 2 dogs, one on either side. The one on the left side would be our dog Kenji, who we adopted in 2014.
We rescued him.
I lost my train of thought. We rescued him in 2014. He's still with us. Our dog on the right-hand side is our dog Suki, who we had since she was a pup. Sadly, she passed away. It's been
2 years.
2 years? I thought it was 3 years.
No.
Okay, 2 years.
It was in 2019.
It feels like...
Oh, no, you're right. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 3 years.
Oh, holy goodness.
They are both Shiba Inus. Most people would know Shiba Inus now if you're into cryptocurrency, the Dogecoin, that dog. They are...
Don't try to steal our dog. You don't get money for it.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. They are a Japanese breed. So when we named them, we tried to give them Japanese names, hence why Kenji and Suki is not Suki from True Blood, because we've been asked that question I don't know how many times, and I never even watched True Blood, but I do know that there is a character on there named Suki.
People have asked that?
Yeah.
Where have I been?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention, I guess.
That sounds about right.
Anyway, the M, the A, the S are in the middle, which stand for Manny and Sean, obviously. Mas, we're going to give you more. That's what we're here for. That's the way we live our lives. We try to do a lot with a little. And I mean, just living life to its fullest. That's what we're trying to do. The outer rings just basically gives you the topics that we usually cover, which is anything from politics, which we talk about a lot. Reviews of things, which I hope to do more of on this podcast.
We have some coming up.
We do have some coming up this episode. And then, whatever is going on socially in the world, I guess that's not the word I'm looking for. Pop culture is the word that I was looking for. I was like socially. Well, we will give you social topics as well.
This is a whole history lesson. This is a whole school here.
Anyway, I'm going to end it here. But yeah, we just wanted to give you a little bit about us. So look forward to this segment every episode going forward. Like I said, this is an ever-evolving, ever-changing thing. You were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to shoot. Anyways, tell people that if you're interested in the Shiba Inu and you live in Florida, check out Shiba Inu Rescue of Florida.
Or SIRF, for sure.
SIRF.
Yeah.
They're a great rescue here locally in Florida, and they specialize in Shiba Inu breeds. And if you want a dog, they always have dogs. A lot of them can't interact with other dogs, so if you're looking for just one dog to have, definitely check them out. They're great. They even help sometimes relocate dogs from other states. Or if you're looking for a nice, we're not sponsored, I gotta say that. If you're looking for an organization that's doing good in the community to donate, definitely check out SIRF. They have been great with us, with the dog we got, Kenji, and then we did foster a dog for a while, and then got her to her new home.
Her new forever home. So yeah, that's a little about us. We're going to get right into things. I'm going to let Manny handle this one because he's more of an expert on it. So take it away.
So I just want to talk about cleaning products that I'm really excited about.
For those of you who don't know, Manny is big on, I was about to say saving the planet, but I guess that falls under it. But
doing my part to make sure the planet doesn't blow up for all the kids we're trying to save.
Yes. He has a degree in global sustainability. And so we recycle here as much as we possibly can.
Absolutely.
We use metal straws. We do all the things that we can to make sure that we aren't producing more waste than we are taking in, which is hard to do sometimes.
Right. Can Duncan stop putting the damn straws in the bag?
They put them in the bag and then they hand it to me at the window. I'm just like,
keep the straws.
I don't actually need a straw.
Anyways, say no to straws. The turtles, the poor turtles. And if you're a Republican, I guess you don't care about the turtles.
I'm sure some Republicans care about that.
I'm just playing. We know we may have some Republican
and that wasn't
friends.
A Mitch McConnell joke, I swear.
Anyways, back on topic here. So I love cleaning products for some reason. I dislike cleaning, but I do love cleaning, if that makes any sense. I hate the act of cleaning, but once I'm in it, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, this man loves cleaning. Maybe he doesn't love it, but he does it all the time. Anyway,
maybe it's cultural background. My dad was always cleaning.
And you were always cleaning.
and I just picked it up. Anyways, so if you haven't heard, there's this company called Grove Collaborative, which focuses on creating products that are sustainable.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Oh, yes. Not sponsored yet. But if they want to sponsor me, throw it on this way. Yes. The one thing I like about them is not only can you buy cleaning products, but you can buy soaps. And I am a Bath and Body
connoisseur.
Yes. And I was buying them soaps every time. They were 3 for $5, 3 for $20, whatever. I was there. But when you think about all the plastic that comes out of those soaps, you're just adding that to the waste. And people are like, oh, but I recycle. But it's important to know that only 9% of plastic is recycled.
Yes, there are different types of plastics. And if you look at the symbol on different plastics, you will see the different types. I work for a bottler and they have different types of plastic they use. They try to only use recyclable ones, which recently you see that plastic bottles that were once colored like Sprite have gone to clear because it's easier to recycle. Good.
Yeah, so I mean, even though we're throwing it in our bins, we don't know if it's actually being recycled at the end of the day. So Grove Collaborative is definitely focusing on trying to be 100% plastic free by 2025. So it meets my cleaning OCD and also my desire for being better to the planet.
And they smell nice.
Yeah, and like I just bought all the fall soaps that they have. And the great thing about it is the soaps come in these aluminum cans, and you can pour it into your favorite soap dispenser. And then you throw the can away. And this is something about aluminum. Aluminum is easier to recycle than plastic. So a lot of their products come in aluminum cans or glass cans, which means those two products are easier to recycle than plastic itself. And they're aiming to be plastic free by 2025.
That's awesome.
Which is quicker than us getting light rail in Tampa.
I think that might be something else that we might. I mean, if you're on episode 3, you should know by now that we are based in Florida. Yeah. So a lot of jokes or a lot of things that we talk about sometimes have to or are in reference to Florida. That's just an extra Easter egg for our get to know us section.
Don't move here. Anyways. But if you're looking to do better in the planet and you like cleaning or you don't like cleaning, the products are cool. We've used the multi-surface cleaners, the shower cleaners, the toilet cleaners, and they're all pretty much come in these items. You buy the spray bottles that are made out of glass, and then you just refill it with your own water. That's another thing. Most products that you buy at the stores are about 90% water, 10% liquid.
Yeah.
So you might as well just do it at your own house. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
It's more concentrated.
Right. So I'm excited about these products. We've been using them for, I'd say, almost a year now.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And we've tried other products that are green in the past and haven't been that great. But these have really proven to be really good, and I've enjoyed all of them. So check them out if you're looking to do better in the world. You know, the world is depending on us to do better when our leaders can't do better for us. So let us all do better. And if by chance, if you're interested in getting $10 off, hit us up on our social. We'll give you our social later on today, or you can email us. I'll be happy to send you the link because I'm going to get $10 too. So I can keep buying stuff.
Again, not sponsored, but we have a referral code for you to get $10 off. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me an email and then we could talk about it. I even bought candles. Did I tell you? You saw them? Yes. I bought candles now. And
I did.
They come in these ceramic containers where you can like use them to replant. So again, there goes that focus on they're trying to create things that you can reuse. And the ceramic thing is really nice. Like it's very nicely decorated. I'm probably going to buy some succulents and not kill them, hopefully. Anyways, that's check them out. But Sean, last week you were telling us a little bit about the Green She-Hulk.
The Green She-Hulk? For the record, most Hulks are green.
Oh, there's more than one. Well, there's the man one.
The man one.
The dude.
Yes, Hulk.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, Hulk. Who has been gray before?
Wait, now I have questions.
About what?
When did She-Hulk come around? This whole time we've only known about the Hulk.
Well, if you watched the first episode of She-Hulk like I did,
I'm not interested.
Then you could have seen how she became
Well, you know
She-Hulk.
what? Maybe we'll create a segment where we just talk about She-Hulk until it's over, and I'll just learn through you.
Actually, funny enough, I think you would like this series. It is very funny. It's very witty. It's also short. It's only 30 minutes because they're trying to make it like a sitcom. So imagine it's like Law and Order, except funny and only half as long.
Okay.
So I've watched 2 episodes of She-Hulk. Another hint, I guess, to when we're recording this, because they come out on Thursdays. But so far, I really like it. It's really, like I said, it's really funny. It's really smart. The lead is a woman, and I'm gonna look up her name.
It's called She-Hulk, so I would hope it's a woman.
But like they talk about her struggles and the struggles that I would guess that a woman in
that's green
a position, no, just a woman in general. Her name is Tatiana Maslany. Yes.
She's part of culture. Is she part of culture?
I don't know her background. We'll figure it out.
Let me stop doing that. I'm profiling based on names.
Yes, you is.
Oh, that is enough.
So Jamila Jamil was in the first episode. She got punched in the face. And that's how the episode ended, actually.
Oh, man, that's well-deserved. I may just go back and watch that part.
But no, the show has been really good. And it's answering some questions if you follow the MCU. Like, if you watch Shang-Chi?
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. So you remember in the end credit scene when Bruce, who was the Hulk, was there.
The original.
Along with Captain Marvel and Wong, and they were looking at the rings. Mm-hmm. Bruce was in his regular human form. And we know in Endgame, he was in his smart Hulk form. So we were kind of like, what's going on here? And so they explained that in the first episode. He wears an inhibitor to keep himself in human form. I don't want to spoil the episode. Go watch it. I watched episode 2 this week. Also very hilarious, bringing back characters all the way from the original Incredible Hulk movie, which essentially is the first MCU movie, but it was played by a different actor. And there's an inside joke about that in the second episode. So really loving it so far. It's a 9-episode run. So we have 7 more episodes to go. I feel like She-Hulk is going to... We already know that there's going to be a lot of guest appearances from other Marvel characters on it. But like even in episode 2... Okay, wait, I'm going to get to you. Even in episode 2, there's Easter eggs within the episode. So when she was looking for a job, for instance, spoiler alert, I guess, when she was looking for a job, she got fired from her first one. There's an article where it says man with claws gets into a bar fight. And those of you that are Marvel heads know that that is Wolverine.
Yeah.
So like, even though the X-Men have not been seen in the MCU yet, we know that at the end of Ms. Marvel, they made her out to be a mutant instead of an inhuman. And I know I'm talking Chinese to some of y'all who don't understand Marvel, and that's okay.
I mean, shit.
We're going to work through this.
I've watched some of this and I'm still looking at you like, what?
Again, She-Hulk, I feel like they're going to tie together a lot of loose ends from some other movies and other shows, maybe. Who knows? We already know that Daredevil is going to be here at some point. Wong is probably going to be in the next episode because he was in the cliffhanger for episode 2 when it ended. So I'm really, really happy. I feel like the showrunner did a great job. The writers, the CGI looks great. I know a lot of people had criticisms about it when they showed the trailer, but it's looking good. Your question?
Wait, first of all, everybody criticizes everything Disney does.
I know.
I do too. But like a trailer comes out and people are just ready not to watch something.
Things are unfinished when they're shown off in trailers usually. So,
but that Black Panther, that was good. Anyways, we're going to get off topic. We'll talk about Black Panther another day. My question was, is Thor going to make a special appearance?
I can't say no, because Thor and Hulk were together in Thor Ragnarok, and they were on a planet called Sakaar.
Okay.
But no, I'm trying to help you here. There's a spaceship that comes from Sakaar, and that is what causes the accident that Hulk and She-Hulk get into at the beginning of episode 1. Spoiler. And so I can't say that Thor won't show up. I don't foresee him showing up. I feel like they're setting Hulk up for World War Hulk, which will be a completely another different movie. We'll see. Universal, I think, still has the rights to Hulk, so they can't make a standalone Hulk movie. But I've heard that that contract is ending either this year or next year. So they may be able to make a separate Hulk movie altogether. And also quickly, this wasn't on our show notes, but I'm going to briefly talk about it. I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Big Game of Thrones fan, love it to death. Manny has never seen an episode, so he's not going to know anything about it.
I'm even more. I thought the show ended.
It did, but they put out a new show, which is a prequel.
Oh.
It's a spinoff show.
Okay.
But opening episode, fantastic. Loved it. There were dragons everywhere.
I love a dragon.
There was sex. There was nudity. They chopped off a dick. It was great. Loved.
Wow.
Can't wait for the rest of the season.
This episode is not PG-13.
I'm sorry. I should have said penis, I guess. It doesn't matter.
We're not teaching
kids. It says explicit on our thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Take that as a warning. Anyways. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the show. I'm glad you're enjoying She-Hulk. And maybe I'll check it out maybe I'll just pre-screen episode 1.
It's funny.
See how I feel about it.
Oh, and there's a cute boy in episode.
Anyways, we don't talk about those things. Moving right along.
Speaking of sex.
Today in Sex Ed 101.
Let's talk about the thing that's been going around. I probably shouldn't say it that way.
Let's talk about our next public health disaster.
Monkeypox!
Dun, dun, dun.
My God, where to start with this?
I don't even know where to start with this. When I put it on our show notes, I was like, what do I want to say about monkeypox? Because I've been ranting about it plenty. And again, if you're joining us here on episode 3 and you haven't heard the other 2, our pod is about dinner conversations that we physically, literally have at our dinner table. Like, if you put a camera in our house, you would be entertained by just our dinner conversation.
True.
But anyways.
I mean, these conversations pop up at any time.
At any point, yeah, too, on the couch. Anyways.
But yeah, anyway.
So I'm frustrated with how monkeypox is being handled.
I'm frustrated. We're both frustrated because, no, I'm not gonna make excuses for them. When Dr. Fauci got on stage, and was speaking about monkeypox and saying that, this is a disease or a virus that currently mainly affecting MSM is what they call it for abbreviation, but men who have sex with men or gay men, it immediately put a target on the LGBT community.
LGBTQIA. Okay.
You
didn't get the first few letters.
We're going to do Alphabet Mafia because that's what they like to call it. So they immediately put a target on our backs because, once again, you made it like a stigma for us, trying to other people, to straight people or people who don't care enough to read or do their own research. They just think this is a gay disease. They think it's a gay disease. They think it's a sexually transmitted disease. And these things,
they're treating it like HIV or AIDS.
yes,
epidemic
when that first happened, that is how that was treated. But just like HIV, anybody can get it.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Anybody.
You don't have to be gay. You don't have to have sex with someone.
Hold up. Can we say that again? Like, I know we don't get millions of pod listeners right now, but when people come back a couple of years from now,
you don't have to be gay, and you don't have to have sex with someone to get monkeypox.
Anybody can get
anybody. It does not discriminate. It does not only transfer from gay to gay, from trans to trans. That's not how it works.
And listen, I get it. From a public health perspective, they're communicating to us, this is the population that's currently being most affected. Got it. But the delivery should be much better to the country as a whole, because right now what we're doing is we're diffusing the importance that needs to be placed on monkeypox and saying that it's just affecting men who have sex with men. Whereas that means the rest of the population is like, well, fuck it. I don't have to worry about monkeypox.
Right.
And that's just not the case. It's right now, yes, it's affecting primarily men who have sex with men. That is a factual thing.
The thing with that is when they explain it to you, when the CDC explains or when they go into detail about it, what they're saying is that gay men are usually more affectionate or more friendly towards other gays. Just to make this easy for y'all, say for instance, there's a gay brunch. You see your friend. Most of the time, gays will go up, hug each other, maybe give each other a kiss on the cheek. Very friendly in meeting new people. So we're always going to tend to be huggers. Some people are kisses. I'm not knocking nobody, but because we tend to be more outgoing and more friendly in that way, on top of having, I guess, I don't want to say more sex than straight people. I don't even think that matters. It's just that in our community, we tend to be more affectionate towards each other.
And more outgoing.
We show that physically. More,
yeah.
Right. And so...
Not us. We're old.
I get that, but at the same time, when you don't explain that to people, they just think that it's an STD or STI, and that is not the case.
Well, and the first communicative message of monkeypox should be, this is a disease. Monkeypox can affect.
It's a virus.
A virus. It can affect anyone. But what we're seeing is cases right now lean more towards
the gay community.
Right. Because when you start off from the beginning saying, okay, it's only affecting gay men who have sex with men or bi men who have trans, whatever, people aren't hearing what's coming after that. And usually it takes a couple of minutes to get to the part where they say it affects anyone.
Right.
We've already listened to your Cliff Notes, because I feel like that's how people listen is, oh, he said it affects mostly the gay community. I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
I feel like the messaging needs to be stronger at the beginning of it, stating it affects everyone. Right now, what we're seeing is it's affecting. But, I've seen articles, I've seen TikToks where doctors come on and say they're seeing patients that are not gay, have not had sex, getting monkeypox.
Right.
So all I'm saying is to our listeners is be vigilant, take care of yourself. The vaccine rollout is a fucking disaster, I think.
Well, at least here.
Well, in Florida. I don't know about another state. Well,
we can say
Hillsborough
everywhere.
County in Florida. Oh, Jesus, we told you where we live. Just you don't know where we live.
I will say that I don't know how other states are handling it. Certain counties here are more free with who can get the vaccine, and some counties aren't. Some counties you have to have had close contact with someone that has a verified case of monkeypox or think that you've been exposed to monkeypox. It's just I don't understand why we're not treating this more seriously, because I feel like the more you get vaccines out there for people that want to get it, the more we're preventing it from spreading. I feel like one, school just started. And to be clear, let's just be clear on how you can catch monkeypox. It can spread to anyone through close, personal, often skin-to-skin contact, which means direct contact with the monkeypox rash, scabs, or body fluids from a person with monkeypox, touching objects such as fabrics, clothing, bedding, towels, or surfaces that have been used by someone with monkeypox, contact with respiratory secretions, and then direct contact, intimate contact, and sexual contact, oral, anal, vaginal sex, touching of the genitals.
I mean, plain here is day, hugging, massaging, kissing, like simple hugging.
Right.
So it's just frustrating the way, especially coming out of COVID, that we're still like on a halfway broken down car trying to address another potential pandemic.
Like, and I know people are like, no, this isn't like COVID. And maybe it's not like COVID because it's maybe not as easily spread, but at the same time,
we know monkeypox.
Right. At the same time, this can be spread in not devious, but tricky ways. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a simple thing like trying on clothes at a store. If someone ahead of you has tried on this garment and they have monkeypox unknowingly, and you tried on that same garment, you now could be infected with monkeypox.
Right.
You're not a gay man. You haven't had sex with a gay man. And like MTG says, this is not spread at gay orgies. I wasn't going to talk about her this pod. I was going to take my foot off her neck. Please. But she said that dumb shit, and so I had to bring her up. But that's probably, well, no, it won't be. Anyway.
Yeah. I just hope the vaccine rollout starts a little bit better. Like, I know there's counties in Florida that are doing drives for the monkeypox vaccine. But here in Hillsborough County, at least it seems like it's being more CDC managed because they're very to the T and not offering it up as much. But I know there's also restrictions on the vaccine in terms of accessibility. I know the Biden administration is working to try to increase the vaccine for the monkeypox. There's a company here in the US that's now going to be handling actually some of the vaccine production from, is it called, I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry, y'all. Is it
Bavarian? Nordic?
Sure, yes.
That's what it looks like.
It's a Nordic vaccine. Anyways, the company that's producing the vaccine is very limited into where they can produce that vaccine. So there's a company here in the US that's going to start actually also handling vaccine production. So hopefully that'll increase accessibility to the vaccine and help kill this before it gets any worse. But I feel like the stigma will still be there that the LGBTQ plus community has once again spread something when it's not the case. Right. And that's what bothers me the most about it. And if you had monkeypox, I hope you've recovered. Everybody else, get the vaccine when you can. Listen, I've seen people lying on applications to get the vaccine, and it's sad that that's happening. If somebody wants to willingly get the vaccine, let's let them get it at this point.
I mean,
it's like, did we learn nothing from COVID?
No one's forcing anyone to get a vaccine, but for the people that want to get it, let them get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready to line up and get it.
Same.
Anyways, so let's move right along here. Florida had a primary. Did you know?
Yeah, a lot of people had a primary.
Did you vote?
Yes, I voted by mail, which was safe and counted, I think.
Yes, I checked mine. You can check online to see if it was counted. Mine was counted.
Mm-hmm. But if yours was counted, mine should have been counted.
Absolutely, yeah. Because that's how that works. But anyways, we have some important races here in Florida. Our dictator DeSantis is up for re-election. That's what I'm calling him, Dictator DeSantis.
I mean, he acts like one. So.
Well, he tries to kibosh. And he is going to be facing former governor, current congressional representative, Charlie Crist,
Yeah.
who ran here in Florida or was governor here in Florida as a Republican and switched to a Democrat a couple of years ago and ran for Congress in St. Pete and was elected. And, you know, I tossed and turned a lot about this primary because I really wanted new blood. There was a young lady running called Nikki Fried, who is currently the agricultural commissioner here in Florida, the only Democrat currently in such high positions in our state.
Which is sad.
Super sad. So I wanted new blood, but I was also thinking, like, who has the best chance to potentially beat dictator DeSantis? Because I still feel like Charlie Crist has some ties to Republican following, an independent following.
Like, not everybody here is the MAGA, you know, I'm ultra conservative.
Right.
Not everyone is tied to that. There are a lot of Republicans who see the MAGA crowd and like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Right.
You know, they have their wits about them. Yes, they have their beliefs and the things that they will go for. And, you know, DeSantis has done a lot of things in the past, couple of months, couple of weeks that are super questionable.
It's like his first year in office, you barely heard from him.
Right. When he was first elected, I was like, oh God. But then it was like, okay, he's
cool,
not terrible. He's not bad.
And then I don't know who flipped the switch.
I don't know either, but it was like somebody put a battery in his back and he just went off the deep end.
You know who flipped the switch?
Who?
45.
I mean,
he flipped that switch.
He flipped a lot of switches.
But anyways, so Florida's hanging on to hopefully Charlie Crist. He did win with the primary with 59% of the vote, almost 1 million votes. Nikki Fried did really good as well. She was about, I think, shy of 600,000 votes. So Democrats were definitely out there voting, which is good. So feel how you want about Charlie Crist. A lot of people think, oh, he switched parties. He's still a Republican. And, you know, I like to think people may change their views, opinions on things. Whether he did it for politics, I can't answer that. And that's his question or his issue to deal with. But if he's going to be the person that potentially saves Florida from becoming just exclusively to the people that dictator DeSantis is catering to, our hopes are being put on Charlie Crist. And what I say to those people who are like, I've seen so many people now, I'm not voting, and who wants to support him? I'm like, a vote that's not cast for the person that potentially could help put a kibosh on these crazy laws that dictator DeSantis is currently doing, you have to just vote. Like, did I want Hillary Clinton to be president? No. Did I go and vote for her? Absolutely, because I knew she was the only line of defense I had as a gay male, Latino gay male. And we're now seeing why I made that choice to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Right. I mean, a lot of times when people say their vote doesn't count, your vote doesn't count because you didn't go out and vote. Your vote counts a lot. If we don't do something, then you not voting only allows those people to further bring you down. Like, we are already losing rights.
Mm-hmm. Left and right.
Left and right. They are coming up with different laws every day to change schooling, to change how you vote, to take away some people's right to vote.
Yeah.
It happened here. DeSantis made a committee where they were supposed to, you know, look out for voter fraud. They arrested 20 people for it. Of course, they were all Democrats, but these were people that were once incarcerated. And we voted, the people of Florida voted how long ago was it? It wasn't that long ago. To give people that have been convicted the right to vote. And of course, that passed. And then the governor put some heavy restrictions on it. And one of those restrictions was that if you have been convicted of murder or sexual assault, that you wouldn't be able to vote. And they were supposed to be able to check that when you turn in your registration. Now, that got missed, and these people were allowed to vote because the rules were so confusing. And then he made a big spectacle out of arresting these 20 people for voter fraud.
Political theater.
Yes, political theater. I'm going to keep this short because we need to move on to other things. But
he's the talker of political theater, but he puts on a great show all the time.
Right.
So, folks, Charlie Crist may not be your favorite, but think about your rights as a person, as an individual in this state of Florida, at least. And I'm sure many of you are facing that in your other states. Vote for the candidate that's at least, whether they're doing it for political reasons or not, but that's putting at least your best interest in mind to some extent. Like, that's our choice here in Florida right now. Little Marco, to use 45's words, Little Marco, is also up for election, and nothing would give me more happiness than Charlie Crist winning and Little Marco being kicked out the door. Okay, he's going to go up against Val Demings, which convincingly won her primary. She won 84% of the vote, over 1 million votes casted for her. She's prominently known here in the state of Florida. I believe she was a former police chief. I want to say she was actually up for the Tampa police chief. Could be wrong. We will correct that if it's incorrect in the next pod. We have to do all our research before the pod because we don't have anybody to help us during the pod. But I'm excited for Val Demings, and I hope she can defeat Marco Rubio. There are some polls out there that have her just a few points ahead, but within the margin of error. But I'm definitely hopeful that she can take down Marco Rubio. Like, he has done nothing for anybody. Just like Law said on Legendary, you gave me nothing.
I mean, he did say that arguing the gay marriage bill was a waste of time.
A waste of time, yes. He actually has one of the lowest show rates for voting on bills in his job. You know, you're a senator, do your job.
I mean,
but anyways, let's get him out of here. He is just absolute trash, and he stands behind that he's fucking Cuban. Trash. He doesn't give a shit about you whether you're Cuban. He doesn't give a shit about you whether you're white, black, Latino. It doesn't matter. This man is a fucking fraud, and he needs to get the fuck out of office. Period. And if you're going to fight with me, that's fine. Go ahead and fight. I'm from Puerto Rico. Anyways. And then another really important race here in Florida is the Attorney General race. Because, say, Dictator DeSantis wins. If we can at least get Attorney General in there that's Democrat, there's going to be a lot of push and pull there when it comes to laws being applied in our state. I'd rather have it all Democratic, my personal. But
hard to do in this state.
But definitely, if you're listening to us from Florida, do your research, check your local congressional candidates that are running. And, you know, for lack of better wordings for people, vote blue. Like, again, these people may be doing things politically and not 100% in our best interest, but we know when they're in office, they're going to not be looking to pass bills that continue to hurt the Black and brown communities, LGBTQ communities, a woman's right to choose. We can go on forever, but we ain't got time for that. So vote, vote, vote is all I got to say to you. Vote, vote, and vote.
So we're going to move along to the other big news of the week.
What is that?
So the Biden administration has announced the cancellation of student loans. If you have a Pell Grant, then you will get $20,000. Up to $20,000 forgiven. If you didn't receive a Pell Grant, you'll get up to $10,000 forgiven, which has sparked quite the controversy.
What? A controversy.
As it would, like, people were begging him to do this, and now people are upset that he did it. You can't make people happy.
You can't. You will never.
You
make
damned if
people
you
happy.
do.
Never.
You're damned if you don't.
Never.
At this point.
And it's important to note that this is only for people who make less than $125,000.
Right. Which is another point of contention that people were angry about.
Right. And the student loan repayment has also been delayed or extended until December 31st.
Yeah.
First payment's coming out in January. Another good thing that comes out of this is undergraduate loans will now be capped at repayment of 5% of your monthly income versus before it was 10%. So that's another good approach. One of the examples they said, one of the examples they made was like somebody who makes $77,000 a year. And they went as far to say like they held a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Originally, they would pay about $295 per loan. And now with this 5% cap, in theory, it should be like $61. So they're going to try to make payments a little bit more manageable for people who are repaying back.
Yeah. I mean, people are mad because people are like, well, I've already paid off my loan. And to that, we give you a rousing round of applause for doing so.
Applause.
But we can't, Lady Gaga.
Oh
my God.
Oh my God. Don't take my good card.
You can't go back in time, right?
You can't go back in time. Schools were cheaper back in the day.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I was looking at a school the other day and I told you the bachelor's degree, bachelor's in business was $61,000. $61,000 for a bachelor's degree is absolutely absurd. And though I understand some of the complaints that student loan forgiveness does not fix the system,
no.
And I 100% agree that we need to do legislation that fixes the student loan crisis, because I am not a believer that if you borrow $10,000, it now dupes to like $20,000, $30,000 because of interest.
Right.
There should be absolutely no interest on student loans. Period.
It should be you borrow $10,000, you got to give $10,000 back.
Period. That's the way it should be. At least, I have a hard working in education. I have a hard thought in saying that it could be free. Education is free. I mean, maybe there's a place there, but I don't know that we'll ever get to that place. But at least if you're borrowing money, you should be able to just pay that back, what you borrowed, not with interest. Because I can't tell you how my student loans have ballooned because of interest.
Right.
So definitely we have to hit back to where, to fix it. We have to fix the student loan crisis. But let's stop complaining about this forgiveness that's being done, because when you think about somebody who has $70,000, $60,000 in loan, $10,000 is nothing.
Right.
When I say that, I'm not being ungrateful. I'm just saying that, economists are coming out and saying that, oh, this is going to increase inflation. People are going to have so much more dispensable income. And I'm like, bro, it's up to $20,000. If you got $70,000 in student loans, guess what? I still have $50,000.
Right. Well, yeah. Wait,
did I not do the math right?
No, you didn't. It's
okay. I was counting on my fingers like I always do.
You can't, like I said, you're not going to make anybody happy. I read an article today where a guy who paid off I think he had $110,000 in student loan debt. He wasn't angry for the people that were getting the loan forgiveness, but he said it didn't go far enough. He said that he should wipe away all the debt. Now, a lot of people have said that as well, but like you said, we're not
fixing the issue. People are still borrowing.
Right. People are still borrowing money. The interest rates are still crazy. We need to fix the root of the issue. Yes, this $10,000 or $20,000 up to gives people some relief, which is great. But we need to look at the bigger picture. and really hone in on why student loan debt gets so out of control in the first place.
I agree. And I think it starts with student loan interest. And also, I'm not running for any office here. It also needs to go back to school tuition rates. Like Florida, I believe it was Crypt man, Rick Scott. He put a cap on tuition rates in Florida, and I believe they have to request legislative action to raise any interest rates. So Florida has some of the lowest tuition rates in the country. There are schools out there with tuition rates that are in the thousands. And it's allowed, and students pay it. This is where we need to start looking at how to, not just student loan reform, but also how do we manage the cost of going back to school? I know Florida created some degrees that are $10,000 and under. And that's great for undergraduate students that have interest in those fields. But to fix the system, it needs to be student loan reform. It needs to be school cost reform. Like there's so many fees on tuition. The sports fee, the student services union fee, the technology fee. Like it's a whole undertaking that needs to be addressed. And listen, for those of you saying that it's not enough, I get it. But let's sit back and think that this is the first president that has taken some kind of action towards trying to give some relief to people who have student loans.
Right.
And to my people who are making over $125,000 that are saying, oh, it's not fair, I'm not eligible. I'm going to tell you, with all due respect, to sit down and look at your finances, because if you're making over $125,000 and you're complaining that you're not getting student loan reform or student loan forgiveness, I need you to go back through your ledger and see where your expenditures are going right now for your salary at $126,000. And if you got a family, that was your choice. And I'm going to leave it at that because I can get into a long-winded argument.
No.
But Republicans thought it would be cool to then go and rant about this. And how dare people get student loans paid for by the taxpayers? And can we talk about what taxpayers have been paying for many years?
Taxpayers pay for everything. So if we're going to be mad every time something gets repealed, reformed, relieved, whatever you want to call it, people, your taxes is your taxes.
And I don't know about you, but I still have to pay my taxes, even though I might get $10,000 for my. So I'm still paying for it in some capacity. But let's talk about some of these Republicans, okay? Because as part of the CARES Act that was signed for COVID, the Paycheck Protection Program was created for businesses to stay afloat during COVID.
The PP loan? PPE loan?
The triple P loans.
Because a lot of people got caught up in that, and now they regretting it because they thought it was free money. But anyway, continue.
So I said I wasn't going to talk about MGT.
No, I said I wasn't going to talk about it.
Well, I said too, because we've given her the starlight for two pods now. She was one of the ones that went straight up on that Trump created fake book. It's his version of Facebook, Truth.
Truth Social.
Or Truth Max, or whatever it's called.
Which apparently I saw an article today about them not paying a bill, but we'll get to that another time.
I'm sure they'll, what's that thing called? Bankruptcy, to get it wiped out.
How you bankrupt? You just started. Anyway.
Anyways, so our good friend of the pod that we like to talk about,
MTG.
I can't even say it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, for those of you who don't know.
Her and her little company signed up for a triple P loan, okay? Of which you taxpayers, all us taxpayers, paid into that CARES Act. She had $183,000 of her business loans covered through the triple P. And how dare her go on TV or new? Well, that's not TV. That crap social.
I still have not been there, and I know it's not for me, so I haven't searched it out either. But I don't even know what it looked like.
Don't go there because then your algorithm's going to.
No, I wouldn't do that to myself.
Anyways, so she had her husband and herself had these business loans wiped away. And I'm just sitting here like, so what's good for you? You're now $183,000 less in debt. Mm. Whatever you did with that money, we don't know. Mm. But because we're going to help students across this country to wipe up potentially $20,000 if you were a Pell Grant recipient, you over here screaming and crying. But yet you yourself had $183,000 taken off. Not to mention, there's somebody else here, what's it, Buchanan, which the White House called out, had $2.3 million forgiven through the triple P. I'm going to call it the triple P. The triple P program.
Once again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh, he loves that phrase.
I do love that phrase because it's the truth. What's good for you is just as good as for the people over here. You can't come up here and complain about people getting up to $10,000, up to $20,000. It's not a guarantee they're going to get that much. And you sitting up here getting hundreds of thousands up to millions of dollars in loans forgiven.
Right. And listen, that was your right? It was
right,
creative.
It was.
You were able to do that. Awesome. But don't go out now and start criticizing the Biden administration because they're giving some minimal relief to students who aren't making as much as you probably are. Because you get your little congressional salary and then whatever your businesses are, wherever your assets are, where you're getting in money.
Right. And most of y'all are millionaires already from doing either speaking engagements or book deals or TV appearances. Because that's all I see y'all doing. I don't see y'all making any kind of laws, any kind of change. Republicans have been talking about a healthcare plan since Obama was in office. I still ain't seen it. Trump came out here talking about a platinum plan with Ice Cube, and I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I haven't seen a single healthcare plan from any of y'all, but y'all want to tear Obamacare down like this. Y'all, this party is nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. Nothing that you say matters, nothing that you do matters, because you don't do anything for the people but run your mouth.
Exactly. It's just... when I saw this, I couldn't even stomach it because I was just like, how dare you? Like, I'm not angry that you took advantage of it. That was your right.
What did 45 say when they talked to him about his taxes? He was like, well, there was a loophole and I took advantage of it.
Right. Listen, I'm not mad at you if you figure that shit out. But don't come on here criticizing everybody that may get some minimal relief on their student loans that they've probably been paying for years.
Because y'all ain't trying to help nobody.
Okay, the people that are working 2 jobs to stay afloat don't get speaking engagements that pay them 10 grand, 20 grand just to spew out some bullshit.
Do you remember when we got our last stimulus check? It took them how long to send people $600?
Girl,
and for what? What's that paying? It ain't paying nobody rent.
No, that was the height of COVID. Like, people were really struggling. Like, there were so many people laid off.
Get the fuck out of
So my thing is, like, if you're going to go on and blast things Biden's doing, make sure you're not taking care of or taking advantage of something else through taxpayer payments. And at the end of the day, we're all paying for this little break we're going to get with our student loans because we pay into taxes regardless. And something you and I were talking about is like, we have bailed out airlines. We have bailed out car companies. And why the fuck? And banks. Why on this green earth can't we at least provide some motherfucking relief to the people that work and keep this country afloat?
Because
yet the people at the top continue to take advantage of everything and make the most.
Because you don't deserve it. It's not for you.
Get the fuck.
We got to worry about the economy. We got to worry about if we don't keep the airplanes running, how we gonna get places? If Target closed down, where you gonna get closed?
Bitch, planes ain't taking you anywhere. They ain't taking you anywhere now. All they doing is check in 2 hours prior, and then we're gonna leave your ass wherever you at, or we may lose your bag. Anyways, this is so frustrating. I can just go on for hours, but I'm not going to. But it's just like, stop with the politics. Let's work towards helping people. I know up to 20,000 is not a lot, but at the end of the day, it might help somebody that's $10,000 or $20,000 less. They now have to think about paying their student loans.
Right.
Meanwhile, you're over here with your triple P loan covering your work expenses that we, as taxpayers, are also paying for. So, like you say, what's good for the goose
is good for the motherfucking gander.
All right. So have a motherfucking seat, Miss Green. Oh, and let me point out this motherfucker in the state of Florida. He needs to go too. Matt, what the fuck is his last name?
Matt Gaetz?
Yeah, $482,000 in PPP loans.
I don't see how that man is still around. I know that people don't really give a shit about scandals anymore, but I thought for sure when he was caught up with that underage girl thing, like he would be out of here. But I guess people just don't care anymore. Like you can do whatever you want and keep your seat in an office. It's crazy.
I'm pretty sure they paid her off for some of this triple P loan.
You ain't wrong.
Anyway.
All right, y'all.
Oh Lord. Let me tell y'all,
let's
a rant and a half for y'all. But anyways, as we always say, we like to end the pod on a positive note.
Let's end on a positive note. What is your positive for this week?
So if you've listened to our other pods, episodes 1 and 2, I've talked a lot about Bad Bunny. So I made it a quest this week to try to branch out and find new music. And don't be fooled. I did listen to Bad Bunny every day this week, at least once. But I fell into this music hole. I went into like Rihanna, SZA, Tommy Torres from Puerto Rico. He's got a great song. Bad Bunny helped produce. Anyways, and then I fell back into Christina Aguilera. She released the Spanish album in July, and I had listened to it, but I kind of let it fall back. And I went into the songs, and there's a song there that I always connect with. But if you haven't listened to her Spanish album, it's called Aguilera. And she's got some bangers like Ya Llegué, Santo with Ozuna, and then Como Tú. But the song I really like is Te Deseo Lo Mejor. I wish you well. And this year has been about wishing well to people, whether you like me or not. And when I wish you well, sometimes I'm just cutting you out of my life. And that's been my positive for this week. Like I've realized that, people come and go in your life. And that's just the way it is. Before that actually used to bother me. Now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck, we grew apart. We're not friends anymore. Whatever. So that's been my thing of the week. Like it's been kind of my theme. When I heard that song, I was like, you know what? It's true. I just wish people well. And if we ain't friends anymore and we ain't connecting anymore, I still wish you well.
I mean, some people you can't wish well. That's what Mary said.
Well, I didn't listen. I should have went back to that album. I love that album.
If y'all have not listened to Mary J. Blige's last album, Good Morning Beautiful. Wait, did I get that right? Yeah. Okay. There's a song on there
called... That's also the name of one song.
Yeah. There's a song.
It's Good Morning Gorgeous.
Sorry. Good Morning Gorgeous. That's right. I'm so beautiful. I was like, that doesn't sound right, but there's a song called Rent Money, which if you have an ex or somebody that has just
fucked really your life,
taking you for a ride, that song is for you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I love it.
All I got is rent,
money due, and $600 ain't gonna pay.
Fucking with you. That's what she said.
So for me this week, I was trying to find something, but then I thought about it. So I got a phone call from a friend who I call Gigi, and she's been having a tough time. We both know her. She is a ray of light. A lot of hints there. If you know, you know. But she's been going through a tough time, and she needed someone to vent to. And she asked if she could talk to me, and I told her, of course. And for me, it was just being an ear to listen to someone and to give a little bit of positivity, hopefully making their day a little bit brighter. I know it doesn't necessarily heal or fix anything, but I feel like whenever we can be positive or give positive vibes to people, they feel that. I am not the most spiritual person anymore. I grew up Southern Baptist. Oh, that's a whole backstory. But the church is different for me now than it was when I was a child. My relationship I have with the Creator, God, whatever you want to call them, is my relationship, and that's how I feel about it. I don't necessarily pray the way I used to, but when people ask you for prayers, I do my best to give positive energy, send positive energy. I may say a little prayer for them in their situation that they're going through. That just made me feel good. So like doing something for someone else, which we love to say here. And I just hope that things get better for Gigi. We love you. I just feel like that way with any of my friends. I feel like I should be able to call on them if I'm going through something, and I will have someone there to have my back and listen to me. And that made me feel good.
Well, sweet. Gigi, we love you. We know you're a listener.
We do. We love you.
There is sunshine at the end of that runway, honey. All right. But that's good. That's good. I great point. We should probably make that a topic, religion. Because like you, my relationship with the church has definitely changed. But anyways,
we can talk about
we're gonna leave it there. I gotta say real quick though, I don't know if my mom's listening to this. I have put it on social. I'm sure her ears are burning and she has listened to it when some of the stuff we talk about. But if you are listening, happy belated birthday, Mom.
Oh, Lord. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. We have...
Yes, episode 3.
Episode 3 in the books. We have some new socials for you. As always, you can follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
At MAS_podcast. You can follow us at Twitter now.
Yes. Come on over to the tweet world.
At MAS_podcast22. Someone has Mass Pod, and we're kind of mad about it because they haven't used it since 2016. But we're going to let that go. You can also email us at mannyandsean@gmail.com. That's MANNYANDSHAWN. With any questions, comments, topic ideas, whatever you guys want to talk about, throw it our way. Am I missing anything?
No. Is there more social? You want to create a truth social?
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't want to see what it looks like. I don't want any part of that.
We would be on fire there. Like,
no, because we'd be always talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do you know she? No, I'm not going to promote her. Nope, not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do today. What?
This Sunday, Bad Bunny is performing live on the Billboard Music Awards from Yankee Stadium at his concert, The World's Hottest Tour.
Great. So if you listen to this on Sunday, depending on what time it is, Bad Bunny is either about to be on, has already been on,
or you need to YouTube it.
I can't tell you which one, but one of those categories. All right.
I'll make sure to watch it because that could be our.
I'm sure he'll review it next week, guys. I'm sure he will.
You had a reprieve of Bad Bunny.
Jesus. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here because I don't know what time.
Oh, girl, we are over time today.
Okay. Yes.
But
okay.
As you like to say,
I don't know what.
Oh my God. Do something good for yourself.
Oh yeah, do something good for yourself.
And then I like to say, do something good for somebody else.
Until next time. Bye.
This is what happens when we're way too structured.
Oh my God.
See y'all on the next one. Please keep coming back. We promise. We're
Thank you for all the support.
Yes, thank you. Because without you, well, we would still be doing it.
Yeah, we would still do this anyway.
It makes us feel better when you're listening, though.
But we do love the support, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Are we going to sing an outro?
No.
All I got is rent money too.
Okay, maybe we can do that.
Fucking with you. Yeah, sing it, Mary. Bye, y'all. See you next time. Hear you next time. Listen to us next time. Whatever.
Bye.
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 Bye.